Okay, okay everyone, hello. Today we discuss another topic in our syllabus, that is functions. Okay, it's a very important topic, everyone knows. We have expected a question from this topic also in our examinations, right? So generally functions. Before going to explanation of the definition, we were just to remember the programming structure of our C language. So there are the 6 sections in our programming structure. Everyone knows C program has 6 sections. One is documentation section, second one is link section, third one is definition section, fourth one is global declaration section, fifth one is main section, main function section, sixth one is subprogram section. So totally there are the 6 sections. Okay, so the last one is subprogram section. Okay, that is only now I am explaining about today's topic. So here main function is also itself a function, but we feel we write separate for that one because every program include main. The execution also begins from main only. So then only you need to write main function. Like main, won't change your function name main actually. Okay, the function name is here main, but we cannot change. There is no option to change main function. Like main function, you can develop your own functions. Okay, you can develop your own functions. So how to develop, how to write our own functions. So today I am explaining. So totally generally functions are the 2 types. One is user defined functions and another one is system defined functions. Okay, system defined, user defined. So system defined means already which were developed by some people, put into the C library. When we require, we can use. That is called system defined, like scanf, printf. Yesterday we were seeing the string concatenation, string copy. So many functions we people are offered. Often you can use in our programs. Okay, so that's called your system defined. And we won't develop that function. Simply already developed by some people. Just you use it. You can use in your program, that will be linked in your linked section. That means hash include stdio.h, hash include string.h, like. Okay, so system defined function simply won't develop simply when we require, when we need to include into our program with help of hash include statement. Okay, right. So what do you mean by user defined functions? We can develop like our own functionality, our own code. So we need to put. So that is called user defined functions. Okay. So actually what is the advantage of the functions here? So many advantages functions. Reusability, main advantage is reusability. Reusability means what? For example, I developed some logic, put into my own area. I put into the library. When I require, simply call them. Simply call them. Automatically it will be coming, and what is the function you can expect it will be do. So that is called your reusability. Okay, and another one is simplification and not to getting complexity. So when we require, our logic will be more lines. Our logic will be more number of lines in our program. Simply we need to break by according to the functionality, separate blocks. We can call here as function. Separate blocks are nothing but functions. For example, I am expecting 4 type of mathematical arithmetic operations. So one is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So what do you mean by addition? So what I won't write all these 4 into one program. Simply I mentioned addition as a one function, subtraction as a one function, okay, multiplication is a one function, division is a one function. So you just wrote every activity as a function, put into the C library. When we require, you call into your another programs according to your functionalities. Right? How to develop user defined functions? Now we discuss. So before we do that, function is a subprogram. Simply you can call function is a subprogram. When we require, you can call into the main function. Okay? So what is the syntax and how to develop and everything I will explain. Return type, function name, parameters, actual parameters, formal parameters. Okay. So first of all, I discuss what you mean by return type. Right. So here, what you mean by return type? So return type means when you expected what activity we have to take in this function, it should be returned something to the main function. So for example, I will take addition function. So I pass two parameters to the addition function. Simply addition of two numbers. I will pass the two numbers from main function to addition function. Whereas in addition function, it will be added and the result will be sent to the main function. The result will be sent to the main function. So that is the one type of. So when we send a return from, it's not mandatory when you were to send. Okay. So when we send the return, according to the return type, either return data type, you will mention here as integer, float, character, whatever it may be. Okay. If you won't send anything, for example, if you won't send anything, okay, so you won't wish, you won't send anything, you only here print only, whatever it may be activity, within the function only you can take it. So for in the situation, you need to write here void. Okay. So if you void means nothing. Void means what here? Nothing. If you want, if the function cannot return anything, sir, the function not return anything, any data type or any value or any expression, simply you mention in function before you write void. If it returns either any type of data, according to the data type, you will mention data type, either integer, float or character, whatever it may be. Okay. So if you want to mention, for example, I won't mention any data type. Example, I won't mention even the void, or I won't mention either int, character, float. So generally default is integer. If you mention exact data type, your wish. Okay. If the function returns integer, you cannot mention int. If you write int or you won't write int, automatically it will be takes int only. Okay. So but better practice mention int. Okay. So if the function can return something, automatically pay int. Right. If it doesn't return anything, go for void. Okay. So this is the syntax you have to take it. So main, so function 1 close function 1 right. So this is calling. This is called a calling statement. This means in the main you need to write everything. The statements are executed when the statement is encounters function 1, automatically the control will jump to the function. Okay, the function 1. So if it sends anything, so automatically it comes here. So you are, while calling only you are passing values. For example, the values also carried to the function 1 also. So then only we can call it. This is called as a parameters. Okay, when we send from one function to another function values, the values are transferred from one function to another function is called as parameters. Okay, so when I pass the values from function 1 from main, so automatically the function will also receive the same values here. So we'll give the different name. Then only in the before syntax I mentioned here actual parameters or dummy parameters. Dummy parameters, for example, int a, int b. So you have to take int x, int y, whatever it may be, right? So why? Because a and b are not sending here. Only values are sending. Okay? Here a and b are not sending here. The values, whatever the value in the a, whatever the value in the b, that only passing to the function 1. So while receive the values from the function 1, it will take another variable name. Then only you have to give x and y. Right? So this is the calling statement, this is the calling statement. So calling means when I expect, then only I called here. So called means whichever called, it's called caller. So this is calling. This is caller statement. Okay? Right? So this is the syntax we have. According to the parameters, there are the three categories of the functions. So one is function with no argument, no return type. So simple. I won't send any values from main function to the function. Okay? So I won't send any values from here to here. And the function also doesn't return anything to here. So that is called the function with no values, no return values and no arguments. Okay? Function with no arguments and no return values. One. Second type is function with arguments but with no return values. Function with arguments but no return values. And this function can return. This function can send the arguments to here. But this function cannot return here. This function cannot return. They wish. Okay? Right. Second category. Third category means what here? The function send arguments. Even the function can return also values. With arguments, with return values. with arguments, with written values. So this is three categories. Again I repeat, with no arguments, with no written values, function with no argument, with no written value, and function with argument with no written values, function with arguments and with written values. So this is the three categories of the functions, right? So when we want to return from the function to main function or function to function with help of the return statement, I will write the return syntax. Okay, what is it? Return value or return expression. Okay, so every subprogram or every user defined function must have one statement at the end of function, that is return. If you send a return, definitely you will pass the return. If you won't send, you will write simply return. Okay, so I will write one program, easily you can understood. I consider every activity of the type functions. As include Okay, so listen everyone. So I in this program can explain with arguments and with written values. Automatically you people are assume how to write the without argument and without written value and with argument and no written values. Why? Because I wrote the third category program. Okay, so I will take two integers a and b. So I go for add. For that I will take another function that is called addition. So enter a comma b values. Two values are needed. Okay. So I will call here one function. That call function name is what? Addition. Add. I will take the function is what here? Add. Okay. So I will take as an identifier of the function is also itself an identifier. As are the rules of the identifier. What are the rules you need to follow? You can put the same name of identifier. It is also one token. Right. Add. So whatever the values I read a and b, I will pass it to this function. So these are called here arguments. Okay. In the main program it's called arguments. Okay. Right. So whatever the value written from this function, it will be equals to this variable. Okay, C. So I written integer, then only I will declare this is also integer. Right. After, okay, good. So what happened when calling? Right, come here. So add x comma y. I said once again, I won't send a and b directly. It will send only values. Okay. For example, you will declare 10 comma 20. A lo 10, B lo 20 అనుకున్నాం. Example A lo 10, B lo 20 అనుకున్నాం. So whatever the value in the 10 comma 20, that value is only sent to this function. So for that there is another variable that will take x and y. So these are also integers. Then I go for add x plus y. Okay, x plus y. Okay, then the particular result will be stored at z. So this z I should return to the main function. Then only I will write a statement return z. So whatever the z will be assigned to here c. Okay, c equal to z. Simply చెప్పాలంటే c equal to z. C equal to z is nothing but c equal to add of a comma b. So a, what are the values in the a and b? It will goes to the add function. Whereas in the add function there are the two variables I taken x and y. It will be receives and addition. Put it goes to the z value. Z is goes to the main function. Then I will print the c. Okay, so arguments, with return, with arguments, with return. If I won't send argument, for example, I won't send any argument, simply I will call here only declaration, here only scanf statement, here only printing. One thing. Second one is, if I pass the arguments, even though I won't send it, there is no C. Here only you can print it, print up that also. Okay, so simply you will understand what I am telling here. So if you have any doubts while seeing this video or whatever it may be, definitely make a question or make a question to you people. Definitely you can ask as a personal. I request everyone. Okay, right? So this is the functions. Okay, so three categories. Again I repeat. One is the function with arguments, without arguments and without return values. Function with arguments and no return values. Function with arguments and with return values. Okay, so what is the advantage of the functions? Everyone knows what are the advantages of the functions. So simply reusability, okay, and security, okay, and the program doesn't have any complexity. So simply you can break whatever the logic you go for, that only you mention separate blocks for each and every logic. Okay, and the last topic in the function is recursion. So what do you mean by recursion? Recursion is simply recursion, a function calls itself. Generally what happens, a function calls another function. So for example, we were seeing in the last program, main function call add. So like add also another subtraction can call another. If you go for your wish, there is no restriction to go for a hierarchy. So simply you can call number of functions, no problem. But the difference is what is a function call itself. That meaning what here? Main function call main. What happened? So it will create an indefinite loop actually. Okay. So what happened? For example, I wrote example here main. Okay. Go for main here also. Close. What happens to other program execution? You can call main again. It's create indefinite loop. Okay, but what is the benefit of the recursion? So all suitable problems are not required recursion type of problems. Some problems related to the mathematical, trigonometric, game related softwares require recursion. Okay, so suitable problem can takes recursion type of programming, then only will take. For example, factorial of a given number. A factorial means, for example, what is the factorial of the 5? 5 factorial means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So simply 120 is the answer. So itself n, for example, what is the factorial? So enter the n value, n equal to 5. N itself again it goes for 4. N itself again it goes for 3. N itself goes for 2 and again 1. And that number only decreases by every time minus 1. Okay. So that means what here? You can call the same function, it decreases every time. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Okay, so when your condition will be becomes. Okay, so without condition you will write a recursion, definitely it will create indefinite loops. So don't write this type of programs without conditions or without putting proper conditions or whatever it may be. Definitely it creates indefinite loops. When we require, then only you encourage recursion related programs, simply mathematical, logical, okay, trigonometrical related, scientific related, that type of issues people are often called as recursion related programs. Okay, so with this one I close the functions topic. So I request everyone, please, I observed every day, everyone every day, but the views are very less. Please again I am requesting, please listen and see, please listen and watch, and whatever you have the queries or whatever the doubts or whatever the questions, definitely make to me. As a personally, make a call or a question to my WhatsApp personal number. Don't put in the group if you feel something. Put into the as a personal to my WhatsApp number. Definitely, I go for service of you people. Okay. So functions, I will send the notes. Everyone goes write the program and easily can understood. Those are the systems in your own computers. Those are the systems in your own homes. Okay. Definitely go the practice. Right.